let's get this over with. Okay, kids. Today we're talking about bowling. Hey, we're talking about bowling, right? But before we get into the nitty-gritty of bowling, we have to ask ourselves, what is bowling? It's my third cup. You see, most people think of it as a fun recreational activity, right? For the whole family. You got your 10 pins on that end, you're on this end. You throw a piece of plastic down a greased up lane like a marble down a sweaty fat guy's back, and Bob's your uncle, right? Wrong. You see, bowling is a lifestyle. A lifestyle that has been around for millennia. See, ancient bowling goes all the way back to the Egyptians, but everyone around the world had some form of a game where you take a ball or a sheep's bladder and chuck it at a bunch of pins. Jump forward a few hundred years to the early 1800s, and the Germans, the Dutch, and the British bring this fun little recreational activity over to the States when they immigrate. A little bit later, the late 1800s, someone had the brilliant idea of adding a 10th pin to what was formerly 9-pin bowling, and whoa, all of a sudden, modern bowling was born. So then moving into the 1900s, a technology boom really helps with the sport's popularity. You are such a chunky kitty. Mwah. As soon as you no longer amuse me, you're going out in the cold. Better balls are being made, standardized materials are being used, the pins all weigh the same, crazy stuff. Then they started really thinking about it, and someone was like, hey, let's stop bowling on grass. Okay. Want to bowl on wood? Yeah. And just like that, the bowling lane was invented. In 1952, the company AMF bought the patent to the automatic pin setter. So now you didn't have to pay a 13-year-old boy 20 cents a day to set up your pins for you anymore. You could bowl whenever you wanted. In the 1950s, bowling finally made it to the television when they broadcasted the championship series, and its popularity exploded. And now people love to bowl. Today, more than 95 million people in over 90 countries worldwide love to throw a piece of plastic down a lubed up lane, with multicultural athletes competing in all kinds of worldwide competition. Wonderful, isn't it? The way you score bowling is very simple. There are 10 frames in bowling with 2 ball rolls per frame. If you knock down, say, 5 pins, you get 5 points. If you knock down all 10 pins, that's called a strike, and you get 10 points plus the sum of your next 2 bowls. If you hit some of the pins in your first try, and you finish knocking down all 10 pins on your second try, well, that there is called a spare. You get 10 points plus your next bowl's score added to the 10. The 10th frame is weird, and I'm just not motivated enough to explain it. I'm so far behind on rent. Now for me, when we're talking famous individuals in the sport, there's only one guy that comes to mind. Jason Valmonte. What's up, Jason? How's it going, man? Now this 36-year-old handsome devil is from Down Under, Australia, and is mostly known for popularizing the two-handed bowling approach. He has won 24 PBS titles, a record 13 major championships. He's been named PBA Bowler of the Year 5 times, and he accumulated $1 million faster than any other bowler in PBA history. He's also my personal idol and why I bowl two-handed. Now I gotta tell you, I love bowling. I got my own ball. I used to go bowling every Thursday night after 9 p.m. College night, baby. And I'm very upset that I cannot bowl right now, because I'm very bored. And I love bowling.